Did you know that roughly 1 in 5 adults worldwide grapples with an anxiety disorder at some point in their lives? That's an astonishing 20% of the global adult population, an unsettling reality, isn't it? Consider the tale of Miriam, a school teacher from a small town. Miriam found herself constantly worrying about everything, from her students' grades to whether or not she'd left the stove on at home. The anxiety was crippling. Then she discovered the power of mindfulness, a practice rooted in Buddhist tradition. Miriam learned to focus on the present moment, letting go of past regrets and future anxieties. Each day she dedicated 15 minutes to sit in silence, focusing on her breath and the sensations in her body. This simple act began to transform her life. She found peace in the midst of her anxiety, one breath at a time. Or take the story of Samuel, a city-dwelling businessman. Samuel suffered from panic attacks that seemed to come out of nowhere. His heart would race, his palms would sweat, and he'd feel an overwhelming sense of doom. Then, Samuel encountered the concept of surrender, a principle deeply embedded in Christianity. He learned to surrender his fears and anxieties to a higher power, trusting that he was not alone in his struggle. This act of surrender brought Samuel a sense of peace he'd never known before. His panic attacks didn't disappear overnight, but he found solace and strength in his belief that he was not alone. And then there's Fatima, a single mother juggling multiple jobs. She was constantly on edge, worrying about providing for her children. She discovered the Islamic practice of Dhikr, the remembrance of God, which involves repetitive statements or prayers. Fatima found solace in the rhythmic repetition, feeling a sense of peace wash over her as she focused on her faith. Her circumstances didn't change, but her response to them did. Anxiety was no longer the driving force in her life. Now you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but how does that apply to me? The answer is simple. These techniques can be incorporated into anyone's life, regardless of religious beliefs or lack thereof. You don't have to be Buddhist to practice mindfulness. Try setting aside a few minutes each day to focus solely on your breath. Tune into the sensations in your body. Let your thoughts come and go without judgment. You don't have to be Christian to practice surrender. Whatever your beliefs, consider the idea of letting go of control. Trust in the process of life, in the ebb and flow of joys and challenges. You don't have to be Muslim to find peace in repetitive statements or prayers. Find a phrase or mantra that resonates with you. Repeat it to yourself in moments of stress or anxiety. Remember, it's not about eradicating anxiety completely. That's an unrealistic goal. It's about finding peace amidst the anxiety, learning to ride the waves instead of being pulled under by them. So try implementing these strategies. See what resonates with you. Experiment, adapt. The path to peace is a journey, not a destination. And remember, you're not alone. 1 in 5 adults grapples with anxiety, and many like Miriam, Samuel, and Fatima have found peace amidst the storm. You can too.